my name is Felice Cohen. Welcome to the Sapphic Lit Pop-Up Author Interview. Today we have Robbie Berry, the author of The Pink Divide. Robbie, can you tell us a little about the book?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the pink divide is really kind of, it's a play on words, right? Female genitalia, just, the pink divide. But it's more than that, really. It's like a queer coming of age. And it's not so much a memoir, although I wanted to make it one. I changed some things up, but it's really just a queer coming of age based on kind of my life in a small town and my journey through like trying to find out who I was and navigate the small town weirdness and getting out, right? Getting out from underneath that small town, branching out, going to college away from here in a big city, and just experiencing all the different things that you get to go through as you're coming out and you're going through your journey of finding out who you are.
True. And I know a lot of it was based on your personal life. Was there a reason you decided not to make it strictly a memoir and go for a novel fiction?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of reasons. I think we write about things that like wage war in our hearts, right? And I was really torn between being completely honest, being authentic, and um, just kind of telling the story from a little bit of a different vantage point. So I think from, the main character, her name is Lake, and parts of her journey kind of deeply resonate with my own experiences coming to terms with my sexuality. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to go too much into specifics there, but I poured a lot of my heart and vulnerability into Lake's story, hoping to create a character that really came across as authentic and relatable. And people have asked me if this book is a memoir or is it fiction? And the answer is really, truly, it's a little of both, right? So the story of Lake Myers is absolutely based on my experiences growing up in a small town in Northeast Ohio. And from there, I did move away to Georgia for college. And while I was working there on my undergraduate degree, I visited my first gay bars in Savannah and Atlanta, and I met my first serious girlfriend, a delightful landscape architect who's in the book.
Okay.
And together for nearly 4 years, she was the first woman I ever took home to meet my family. But I did change some things as it the book went on, just because I do have a daughter. I was worried what might come back to her. Um, so
Sure.
I just changed a few things up, but mostly me, but not 100%.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's a great story. I mean, there are a lot of heartwarming as well as challenging moments in the book. How did you balance those? How did you choose which ones? Did you want it to kind of, I mean, because that's a coming out story, right? There's highs
Hmm.
and lows and excitement and fear.
Yeah, totally. So, let's just kind of go back to where it started, rural Ohio, right? It provided that unique backdrop, kind of highlighting also the isolation and challenges that come with being queer in a less accepting environment. And when I got down to it, though, sharing my story was important because I remember how I felt growing up as a queer little girl in a place where no one really was like me, and I didn't have anyone to talk to or help me understand it or make sense of it all. And kind of as I was coming to terms with my own like emotions, right? There was like a healthy dose of self-loathing, heartbreak, peace from the only world I knew, and
Right.
really just blaring signals that screamed to me like, you never know um, what's going on with other folks. But I thought it was important for me to keep what I had to myself and not really let people know how I felt when I was coming up and kind of just coming of age. So the historical context there shaped Lake's limited access to information and support, adding layers to her journey of self-discovery, but really just wanting to get out there my experiences and kind of layer it in with parts that I thought would resonate with folks who might read the story.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're not an author per se, but you really wanted to write this book. Was there some impetus that really kind of pushed you to write it?
Yeah, I mean, I really did grow up with this wonderful grandmother who honestly knew who I was before I knew who I was, and she really helped me understand it and never made me feel bad about who I was, and really kind of tried to get me to come out almost, if you will, even when I was young, right? Like just she was always there, kind of edging me, like it's okay to be this, it's okay to be this, and I wasn't okay with being that for a long time. And I was, when I tried to come out multiple times as like a teenager, it was super scary. And I very quickly ran back to the closet because people just weren't accepting. So kind of going back and forth, like I said, having that story, small town, I know it's one of a million stories that are happening even today, right? Across the country, small town, just not really safe to come out. I thought if I could be brave enough to share my story, it would help others. And that was really why I did it. I mean, everybody needs a Kiki, who's the main person in my story and my grandmother. But if you don't have one, maybe this story that I share will help.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you. I mean, I have so many more questions, but we are over the time. Thank you so much for joining us. This was fun.
That was 5 minutes? No
It's
way.
over 5 minutes. I know it goes fast.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really
Thank
appreciated
you.
it.